Back. So we were telling you about the story here of neighbors in South Georgia who say they've been misled and ignored about the dirt road that leads to their community. And they bought their homes, again, under a promise that the road would be paved, and it never was. And so they say now that dirt road is is leading to other problems, rather. WLB News 10's Brittany Blake is joining us now with more on this investigation. You actually sat down with those neighbors and also talked with some city officials to get them answers. What have you found out?
That's right, Quillen. So I actually went to the Jamar subdivision in Brooks County on Sunday and spent some time with about a dozen neighbors who talked about the fact that when they bought their homes in the last 5 years that they were told that that road was going to be paved.
Gotcha.
Now, whether they were told by the county, whether they were told by their realtor, whether they were told by a contractor, all of those things differ.
Yeah.
So they were all told by different people. So we took that concern right to the county administrator, and the county administrator, who has only been there for a few years now, says that he had heard of some of these rumors, but he was able to confirm that there will be no paving of those roads there in that subdivision. Now, there is one particular part of the road that is going to be paved, and it's called the Horseshoe.
Okay.
By some of the residents that live out there, and that's the original part of the Jamar subdivision. However, the other parts of that subdivision were never promised to be paved.
Mm-hmm.
It was just rumor that essentially grew over the years.
Gotcha.
and misled, unfortunately, a lot of these homeowners who have had to spend money on repairs, who have had to had their vehicle stuck in the mud or things like that. You know, all of these issues with their businesses that this has caused as well with some of the residents that I spoke to. So, I mean, it's just crazy how this went from one thing that was said to years of promises for people, and the fact that there are still being houses built in this subdivision under this guise.
So I guess, what is the city's response to this? Are they going to do anything? Can they do anything?
Well, it's the county, so it's
Okay.
Brooks County,
Brooks County.
and there is nothing that they can do. So I actually spoke to the water company. This lies a lot of the problem.
Okay.
That problem actually lies under the road. So when the subdivision was built back in the 70s, the water lines were built under that road. It was a dirt road. And so when the county took over the road, they were not fully aware of the situation, and actually Mr. Buddy Johnson gets into that, talking about how they weren't fully aware of how much the water was going to impact how they even maintain the dirt road.
Wow.
So a lot of times when they're maintaining that road, the grader may hit one of the water lines, and then that causes the people in that community to be without water. So it's just a built-up issue over time.
A lot of layers.
Yes, it's so many layers that these people did not essentially sign up for under full disclosure.
So let's talk about the water impact here, the quality of water, and what is that like for those homeowners? Are they having to boil their water?
Yes.
Okay.
So one of the homeowners shared with me that since 2024, they have had 21 boil advisories, which is a lot. I mean, in about 2 years' time, 3 is a lot.
Yeah.
So 21 is crazy.
Yeah.
So they have to keep bottled water on hand, because a lot of times the way it's set up, the water, some of the road debris and things like that can get into their water, as well as if they hit that line, if the maintenance crew comes out there and they hit the line, they may be without water for days or maybe for hours.
Yeah.
They never know. It is a private water system, and that's what makes this a bit complicated. And even in that, the water system, we did an open records request, but a private company, as you know, is not subjected to open records requests. So they did provide us with a statement, which we have fully on our website, WAOB.com. But ultimately, they said that it's the third party's fault. So they're blaming the county for the reason why the water issues are happening. So unfortunately, the county is blaming the water is blaming the county, and the neighbors are left in the middle.
In the middle. Wow. And I think they're taking it as far as to like warning people, putting signs up like, do not move out here. And you said they're building more houses.
So they actually have put up signs, and the signs say, if they tell you they're going to pave, they're lying to you. And it also says to ask about the roads and the water.
They're still telling people that they're going to pave the roads, or has that...
Unfortunately, it is still being advertised
Okay.
that the roads are still going to be paved. Again, that is not at any fault of Brooks County.
Okay, right,
That is
right.
at the fault of people's perception, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because this rumor did not start with the county. This rumor started in the community with whomever, whether it was a contractor, whether it was a realtor, doesn't matter. This rumor has gone on for about 10 years. So this was not the county that came out and said, we're going to pave this road.
Gotcha.
And that's why essentially in this story, the county has the ability to clarify that the only part of the road we have ever agreed to pave is the horseshoe.
Gotcha. Wow. Well, no, you're going to have more on this story. And I know people have reached out to you saying this is not really the answers that they wanted, but I guess it kind of leaves them feeling just a little bit better that they were able to get a little more clarification on it.
Because they have not had a definite answer. So I'm glad that I was able to actually get them the answers that they needed essentially to feel comforted either in their decision to sell their homes. Some of them are thinking about that, or either deciding that, okay, well, we're going to be living on a dirt road and this is just what I have to deal with.
All right. We'll have that story coming up later today. Brittany, thank you.
Thank you.